I don't know why we can't be normal as a basketball society, as a basketball community, but the problem is these big media companies, part of their job is to draw in viewership and clicks and also social media metrics for its engagement when they say outlandish stuff. So we can't just talk about X's and O's because to the casual fans, that's probably going to bore individuals. So that's why we see constantly things like this one. I think Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. That's what Curl Peck said. The Los Angeles Sparks beat the Indiana Fever for the second time on the season, and social media and people were talking was quickly got on Carol Peck and were saying that I guess that the Indiana Fever do need Caitlin Clark, and they just lost one of the worst teams in the WNBA. And of course, Peck backtracked and said I should have used the word different. But the problem is with doing that, the damage is already done because she could have came out and she could have said that the Indiana Fever are very different in the way they have to play, consider when Caitlin Clark is on the court, when she is not on the court. That is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. She could have broke down the X and O's, how it's more dribble handoffs, how it's more ball movement, how the Indiana Fever had to rely more on sets to get others involved. And also Natasha Howard has been playing kind of like the point forward position and doing a lot of high-low action with Aaliyah Boston while Caitlin Clark is off the court. That would have been fine. She then could even follow it up, but the difference when Caitlin Clark is on the court, the defense is really sucked in on Caitlin Clark's gravity and locked in on Caitlin Clark, which allows open shots and open looks for her teammates. And also when Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands, we know she is dynamic in the pick and roll, and she really allows her teammates to find open seams because the defense is so glued and locked in on Caitlin Clark that they're not paying attention to her other teammates, which allows for easy and open looks because when Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands, she's such a great generator and she creates opportunities not just for herself, but for her teammates because she's the greatest generator we've seen in WNBA history. You see how you get your point across, but with two different types of analysis, but the problem is ESPN doesn't have the right people in certain positions to critique the WNBA and also critique the NBA because everybody wants to talk about clicks, narratives, and most importantly, basketball seems like the only sport where it's always a negative commutation when people are talking about the game.